Good afternoon from San Ignacio here in Belize, my fourth stop in this beautiful country and my final stop in this beautiful country. I got here last night and did some work this morning. Haven't been feeling best the last couple days, but pretty well back to normal now. So I'm here for a couple of more nights, and my plan while in town is to explore some of the area, check out at least one of the sets of ruins that are here, and just kind of enjoy this side of Belize, which is quite different from Belize City and the coast that we've seen up until now. Just sort of walking down through town here, and it's Sunday today, so it's pretty quiet. Most things are closed, at least early on. I believe some shops will open up more so later on. But I haven't had anything to eat for 2 days because I wasn't feeling very well. So I'm going to head up to a restaurant here and get some lunch first. So this is Ko'osh, which is a local restaurant here in town. Pretty famous. I think a lot of people like to stop here for meals and things. And yeah, they have a little bit of everything on their menu. They have Belizean stuff, they have regular sandwiches, they have a pretty good selection. I just wanted something boring today for my first meal in 2 days, so just went with a fried egg and bacon sandwich and coffee, and it was quite delicious. It is hot today. Just kind of wandering around here at the moment. I have no real plans in mind. Nice little shaded park area here. There's the welcome to San Ignacio town sign. So San Ignacio is primarily known as a sort of jumping off point. There's some very famous ruins nearby here named Shunan Tunich, I believe how you pronounce it, and a couple of other spots. There is the world famous ATM Caves, which is basically an underground cave exploration tour that you can take. I believe I've talked about it briefly in one of my other videos. I don't think I'm going to bother with it just because, well, for a variety of reasons, but essentially my next stop will be Flores in Guatemala, and there I'll be seeing the Cahal ruins, which are arguably some of the most famous in the world. We're also only about, I would say, less than 10 kilometers to the border with Guatemala here. It's a very popular location for people to come prior to crossing over. The process from here looks pretty straightforward. You can take the bus either to Benque, which is the next town over, or take a taxi right to the border. I've been told the taxi should only be like $5 or $6 US right to the border. Cross over at the border there, and then hop on a colectivo or a chicken bus from the Guatemala side into Flores, which is sort of the next point. I think I'll probably stay in Flores for about a week when I get there, primarily because of Cahal, because the lake that it's on looks amazing. So Flores is kind of a two-part town. Like, there's the main part of the city on the lake, and then there's an island in the middle where a lot of the rest of the city resides on. That's where a lot of people stay, and it looks really beautiful. So it's be nice to think to stay there for a week or so and just get my bearings in Guatemala. And I don't have any kind of plan yet for my route through Guatemala. I have a list of places that I want to see, but no kind of fixed plans for that yet, so I could use that as an opportunity to kind of get some of that straightened away too. There's the bridge that takes you across the river here in San Ignacio. I think it's called the Cahal River, M-A-C-A-L, and that kind of splits the town in two, although the majority of the town is on this side anyway. So I thought from here maybe I'll just go for a little wander down this way. I don't know if the market will even be open much today, given that it's a Sunday. I thought it would be good to at least go out and go for a little walk around town today. just kind of explore. Again, it's not a huge place, but interesting to check out nonetheless. And to think I'm going to miss Love Fest by a few days. Just down here in the Market Square area, and as I suspected, because it's Sunday, you know, most stuff is closed here today or opening later. But it's a good little town to get around. Everything's pretty close together, which is nice. And lots of restaurants and shops and grocery stores and that sort of thing if you need to stock up. This is how I came yesterday when I got off the bus from Belize City. And up through here and to the left and right here is kind of a walking street with more shops and restaurants and stuff on it. So one of the more fascinating parts of this part of Belize is along the Belize-Guatemalan border. So there's actually been a territorial dispute here between the two countries since the 1800s. And it actually even goes back further than that. But for the purposes of my explanation, I'll try and keep it to a somewhat respectable amount of time. So back at the time in the 1850s, when it was British Honduras and Guatemala, they agreed to a treaty in 1859. And as part of that treaty was that the British would build a highway from Honduras to the Atlantic coast through the what is now Belize territory. That road was never built, and eventually British Honduras was adopted into the monarchy as a territory and all that sort of stuff. That dispute has still not been resolved even till today. From my understanding, there have been in the past random skirmishes along the disputed territory. So if you look at a map between Guatemala and Belize, you'll notice that the line of demarcation between the two countries is actually a dashed line and not a solid one like most places. And that's because of this ongoing dispute. And so here we are now. It is over 160 years later, and the dispute has still not been settled. So the two sides finally agreed recently to take the matter to the International Court of Justice and let them decide. And you can see on this map here how much of the territory of Belize that Guatemala claims to control. So it's a really fascinating little piece of history here in a part of the world where you wouldn't normally think of like border conflicts and those types of things at this stage of the game. But yeah, as of 2025, there's still been no decision made on the border dispute, but it'll be interesting to see if it gets played out here in the next few years. So one of my plans for while I was here in San Ignacio was to go see the Tunich Mayan ruins, which are about not very far, 5-10 kilometers from here in the city of San Ignacio. The process involves getting a taxi out to the stop on the highway, getting on a water ferry that takes you across the river, and then you walk up the hill about 15 or 20 minutes to get to the ruins. Well, I found out this morning that the water crossing is currently closed, so there's no actual way to get up to Tunich at the moment, which is kind of disappointing because it was one of the ones I had on my list that I was really looking forward to seeing. So as a backup plan to that, my plan for tomorrow, which was my last full day here in San Ignacio before heading to Guatemala, is to go to the other ruins closer to the city here by the name of Cahal, Pech. They are within the bounds of the city of San Ignacio itself. And then after the ruins tomorrow, I thought it might be kind of cool to go see the green iguana conservation project that's nearby too. It's actually run at one of the hotels in the area, and there's about an hour-long tour, and you get to kind of, you know, intermingle with green iguanas of all shapes and sizes. So that'll be kind of neat to do too. On top of that, I will give you a review of the place I'm staying in, which has been awesome, and my plans coming up for Guatemala next. More to come from San Ignacio, Belize, my final stop here in the country before I head over to Guatemala next. Good morning and welcome to another day here in San Ignacio, Belize. It is my last full day here in the country. Tomorrow I am off to Guatemala, so I thought today would be a good day to go out and see a few things. One of the most significant sites here in San Ignacio is what's known as Cahal, Pech, which is a Mayan ruins here just sort of at the top of the hill near San Ignacio. The history of Cahal Pech is interesting because it was actually a palatial home for a royal family during the Mayan period. Some of the earliest indications are that there was people living here as far back as 1200 BC, but by and large this was occupied by Mayan royalty up until about the 9th century, after which time it was fully abandoned. So it's not a huge site, but it does have a very Indiana Jones or Tomb Raider feel to it in some aspects, and you'll see that as we walk through this area. So the price to get in here was $10 US or 20 Belize to give you a nice wristband and a ticket, and that was the only fee required. One of the things that's very different here in Belize compared to Mexico is that I believe all of the ruins can be accessed and walked up, as you can see here. So based on that map, which I'll put on the screen here, this is what's known as Plaza B. It has a few temple buildings and a platform over there and one of the houses up here, which we're going to take a look at first. Just standing here in this courtyard, it's a pretty impressive spectacle to see how much had been built up around it. This guy here at the top, I think is getting wedding photos done. Now, in the past, I've traditionally been very opposed to walking on most of the structures, simply due to, things like damage and wear and tear and those types of things. Here, however, as far as I can tell, the only way to get up through this building to the other side is to actually go up through it. So we're going to go up here and take a look over along the edge here, and then I'm not going to go up to the very top of that over there, but we'll go up and through here and have a look. And the reason why I came over here is because there's one of these cool little entryways through here. You can see how well this is perfectly designed to be walked through. It is pretty slippery, so just keep that in mind if you come up here. And then this takes you back out to the front. So we'll take a walk over now to the main entryway here. Here's another shot of that main open Plaza B, as it's known. It looks like the wedding shoot has concluded. So this is the main entryway into the other plaza. And there's the El Castillo temple right here in front of us, with this other very flattened Plaza A. Just an amazing amount of work that went into restoring this place. This is just, unbelievable. So there are no records really pertaining to the exact families and information of people who lived here. the knowledge of it being a royal family of some sort that lived here is based on the architecture and design, and you know, some of the pottery and things that they have found here. But just the structure alone, I mean, you don't even need to know that it was necessarily a specific family, just based on how flat everything is here. And yeah, this is just incredible. We're going to take a walk around the outside here, and we'll come back up on the other side of El Castillo. There's a very convenient doorway right here. I would say if you're taller than 6'3", 6'4", might want to watch your head. So we've just come up to the top here past Plaza A. This is actually Plaza D, which is a smaller section here, but clearly had outlines of a number of smaller buildings. This place, I had read, people had described this place as almost like a maze, and I can definitely get that feeling. Littered with these little rooms that would have been here at the time. Possibly servant rooms or storage rooms or any number of things. And again, just a continuation. This is Plaza E here. And you see a continuation of these arched entryways all over the place here. This really does feel much more like a home as opposed to a city. Although it did say on the information in there that there was up to 2,000 people living here at its height, they figure, during the classic period. So here's another example of the intricacy in the design of this place. So we've just come through here from over on that D and E section. And then you've got these stairs that come down here. And a second set of stairs that go down into that tunnel, which then take you back out to the square. So we'll go down there in a minute. I want to double back first, however, and have a look through here. So just off of Plaza E here, there's more of these rooms. These may actually have been living quarters, and I say that because this would have been a sleeping area. Just an incredible place. Holy smokes. I didn't really know what to expect with Pech, but this is even better than I'd hoped.
Por allá anda Eder.
Eder, sí.
Now,
¿Tienes otro?
Some vapor.
Oh, ese es el propio de Eder, sí. Please be careful, okay?
here's that underground tunnel.
Go sideways.
Takes you back out. Those stairs were no joke. Just gives you a really good perspective on how much of a house type structure this was. So looking at the back side here, so there's the El Castillo temple, and from here you can see the defined 3 levels with the white paint on the outside on the second level, you know, and it had all these stairwells and tunnels and these entryways, and really kind of defines just how much of a home style place that this was. And if you hear in the background, there's a howler monkey. The guy said he's probably about a half mile away over there. and he is making his presence known for sure.
No, my friend, this plaza here is one of the.
Do you guys want a picture up there together?
Oh, yes.
He is really loud. So here are the steps that people like to climb up to the top of the temple. I am not one of those people. It's way too steep, it is slippery, and I am way too old with bad knees and don't feel like having to go to a hospital today. But I can assure you it is very steep, and I bet you it has a heck of a view, but you'll have to use your imagination. So we're just coming around to the beginning again here. So Plaza B is where we sort of came in initially, where we saw the first temple. And this is Plaza F with some more buildings over here I want to take a walk around and have a look at. The rain has started, which is certainly helping to cool things off a little bit. Just a light mist at the moment, but this little building here is interesting. It doesn't have the same entryway design that some of the others did with the pointed top. And I would say this one's probably no more than 5 feet. But you can see there's a raised platform inside here. Probably, again, sleeping quarters, something like that. The accuracy on these walls is pretty incredible. So I don't know if it's going to come up on camera very well or not, but that gives you an idea just how straight these walls were and how accurate everything was measured out. Again, being, you know, between 1500 and 2000 years ago. And now out in the rain, we have returned out to Plaza B where we started. There's the entrance we come up to in the beginning. Here's the initial temple we saw on the way in. Just a beautiful spot here. Not super busy and super quick to get around. If you're in San Ignacio and you're looking for something to check out, I would definitely recommend coming to Pech. Again, it was $10 US to get in. You're free to roam around the park openly, check out all the temples, take all the videos and all the pictures that you want. And yeah, it's remarkable to see a structure like this up on top of the hill, so up close and personal. And it really has a different feel and look to it than a lot of the other places. And now the rain is starting to knock all the leaves off the trees. I'm just standing in the middle here underneath a tree to give me a bit of barrier from the rain. just making our way down here behind sort of those main temples in Plaza B, we find one of the more common pieces to almost every Mayan site that we have seen. And that is one of the ball courts for the pelota or puck to talk game. So again, it has that very familiar layout to it with this main runway where the competition would be performed, and you have these sloped sides here and here. As we've seen in some other sites, they would have had the round disc hanging up here on the sides to try and get the ball through, but those are long gone from here. But again, it's another example of just how influential and important that game was in the Mayan Empire, because every single place we've been has had at least one ball court. And so you walk through that ball court and you come out here to Plaza C, which is just on the back side of these temples with a wall, retaining wall that would have gone all the way around it. I guess even the howler monkey doesn't like the rain because he stopped making a bunch of noise too. I'll go over here for a minute under the shelter and see if the rain calms down a little bit. I don't mind a little bit of rain, but I don't want to be drenched. Anyway, that's going to do it from here, Pech. Now, let's head down to the Iguana Sanctuary and check that out as we continue our visit here in San Ignacio, Belize. So I'm just making my way down the hill from Pech down to the Iguana Conservatory. One thing I would recommend for most people is grab a taxi up to the ruins. It is a pretty steep hike up the hill. They charged me $5 to get up to the top, which was well worth it in the end, I think, because you don't want to get up to the ruins and already be wiped out. So good opportunity just to grab a cab down by the bus station or somewhere in town, and yeah, just take that up to the top of the hill. Where I'm going down to the Iguana Conservatory is all downhill. So now that the rain has stopped, I thought it'd be a nice little walk downhill. Plus it gives me a chance to dry off from the rain a little bit. Just a beautiful spot here though. Up on top of the hill here, you're overlooking, you know, some of the town over to the left. And you've got these rolling mountains here in front of us. And you can see the clouds and the rain there not far off in the distance. But yeah, great spot. Would definitely recommend, if you're in Belize, to definitely consider coming to San Ignacio for even a couple of days, just to, you know, check out the town, come up here to the ruins. The Tunich ruins are probably normally open, but with the raft across the river currently being out of order, it was inaccessible. So this was a great option to come and see this today. Anyway, just going to keep making my way down the hill here to the Iguana Conservatory. So I'm just here at the San Ignacio Resort Hotel, and this is where the Green Iguana Conservation Project is. And I thought I'd come check it out. So I'm just here waiting. It's the next tour is at 1 o'clock. And the cost was $22.50 Belize, so it's $11.25 US. And it's a guided 1 hour tour, approximately. I'm excited to see it. I've seen some really cool pictures about it online and lots of rave reviews about it. And it was only about, I would say, a 15-20 minute walk down the hill from the ruins in the end of it all. When you get here, they give you the receipt. They also give you 10% off a coupon for the restaurant that they have here. So I was having a look at the menu. That looks like it's going to be pretty tasty, so I might just grab something to eat here afterwards. And yeah, other than that, just waiting to get in. They confirmed there's no problem with video recording of any kind, so that's great. And yeah, so I'm excited to see the Green Iguana Conservation Project here at the San Ignacio Resort Hotel. And our tour should be beginning in a few minutes.
Thank you for being here, everyone. Let's wait for everybody to gather around. I'm just going to give you guys a very short, brief info, and then we're going to take a closer look inside. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the San Ignacio Hotel. So this project started in 1996, almost 29 years now. I have been working with them for almost 15 years. This project started as an educational program. It's a non-governmental conservation project. This is all thanks to your help, your contribution. So thank you once more, and thank every single one of you. We try to release that injured iguana as quick as possible back into the, once it becomes rehabilitated. But if the iguana is missing a little arm, missing a little leg, we wouldn't be able to release them back because of their little incapabilities. So we make them our ambassadors. We're still using them to educate humans, and we still use them to procreate. They're still able to mate, lay their eggs. We hatch, and 90% of their eggs will hatch in captivity.
Oh my gosh, it's just Iguana land on the ground.
Yeah, that's my only male I have. His name is Gomez. We have another male, 3 more males around. You can pet them, you can touch them, guys. You can jump close to them. You pet them, you touch them. They feel a little bit cold right now. It has been. I'm going to bring them all around. This is something that's Lexi on the floor.
That's the one male that they have here, and then there's 5 or 6 females in here on top of that.
I'm just going to be explaining to you the difference between a male and a female. You take a, you see that? That's the mating call. Well, they don't make any noise. They just shake their heads to attract the girls, also marking territory against other males around. The more bigger, the more colorful you are, and the more you shake your heads, the more girls come to you. Yes, you just have to be loyal to your tree. Wait for the girls to come to you. The girls are not loyal to one tree or one male. The girls simply travel around looking for different males, different adventures on different trees. Males stay loyal to a tree, which they can store plenty of fat. They can run out of food for almost 5 to 20 days. Alaska is colder in Alaska.
They're colder.
They're colder here. Yeah, you guys came running from the cold. How about you right here in Belize? This is called the crazy weather, by the way. It rains, it will rain, it will normally rain, and then the sun come out. Let them climb, let them climb, let them climb. They just want to, let them climb. Don't go close to the tree. Don't go close to the tree. Yeah, let them climb. Let him climb. They're just going to stay there like a little parrot, okay? They're just going to climb up on you. The more higher they are, the more secure they feel, the more comfortable. They are attracted to your body heat. That's why this guy is closing its eyes.
Almost asleep.
It likes your body heat. You must have plenty of heat on you, my friend.
Oh yeah.
So that has to be a little bit more up.
Like that?
Yeah, like that. And then this is what we're going to do. We're going to put this big guy on top of you. Don't bring your hand in the front. Don't bring it down. If you bring down the...
He's making an escape.
No, yeah. He doesn't like... Okay, here you go. That's it. Don't, even if he moves, you don't move. Okay, he's just posing for the camera, okay? So the male green iguana, it's a very territorial animal. He will normally he doesn't like another male around. They will kill each other just because of territory and the girls. The more girls you have, the more females, okay?
Yeah.
It's up to you. So now we start by putting this on top of her head. And then stay with your hands like I put them. And then I'm just going to grab her armpits. Very good. You're an expert. Yeah. Have you ever held one? No? Take a picture of her alone with the iguana, and then I want you to stand right beside her.
All right, like so. You raise me, and I will stick her.
That's it. I got overbite for you. I'll bring overbite. Some of them, they don't even feel hungry in here because they know food is going to come every hour, okay? Iguanas are normally cold-blooded. No, okay, so let's take a look at the babies. Yeah, the babies are having a little fun, a buffet right now. That's why everybody loves to keep them as a pet. Everybody would buy them. In some countries in North America, people are allowed to have them as a pet. In some states, you can't have them as a pet. In Belize, it's illegal to have them as a pet, okay? Let's go around, guys. Everybody go. Let's go around so everybody gets a chance to come in here. So these iguanas are normally full-blooded reptiles. They will bunch up together to create their own body. They're all doing very good, okay? Some of them are not hungry.
I got some
Some
pictures
of
of
them are
babies.
hungry, okay?
So yeah, this iguana project here at the San Ignacio Hotel is definitely worth your time. Had a great tour today. You get to see, different sized iguanas, from the babies who are 6 to 7 months old to some older ones that were about 15 to 16 months, and then some of the adults as well. Getting to kind of handle them and play with them a little bit and stuff. And it's absolutely worth your time. Again, great project, privately run, and I believe he said is the only iguana conservation project in all of Belize. So they're doing really good work here, obviously. And make sure you come by and check it out, because they survive based on the donations and ticket sales to get into it. So I thought I'd give a quick room tour here at the Don Santiago Guesthouse that I stayed in San Ignacio, Belize. Place worked out awesome. I was here for 4 nights in total, and I think there's about 8 or 9 different rooms here, and it was great. So I had this room, which was booked as sort of a double room, with a double bed and a bunk bed that I obviously didn't need because I'm by myself. But there was a nice setup here, good cold air conditioning up on the wall, plus a big fan, which helped me do some laundry. There was a chest here and a TV, which I didn't use. Good Wi-Fi here. They have a couple of different connections. One in the main area, which we'll go out to in a second, and then one farther down here for the rooms, which worked out really well. Big comfortable sitting chair, which didn't really use too much. Pretty standard bathroom setup. Good hot water, of course. And tap water was good for all the usual stuff. Brushing your teeth and whatever. There's fresh water out in the kitchen if you wanted water for drinking. As far as Belize goes, in some other videos by now you've seen that, there's prices are kind of all over the place in the country here. So like in Belize City, it was much more expensive. Placencia was cheaper. I had that error price, I guess I'll call it, in Key Kulker. So I'm biased in saying that it was a really good price too. And now here, which I thought was actually quite affordable for this place. It's a nice jumping off point if you're heading to Guatemala, or if you're coming back from Guatemala and you want to stop somewhere for a few days. San Ignacio was good. This guest house was great. The gentleman who manages the place, Hugo, is excellent. He's a great resource. He knows all kinds of information about how to get around, different places that he would recommend. Always available, either in person or via WhatsApp if you have questions or stuff. Fantastic. Great experience here. Probably one of the best overall experiences I've had anywhere so far. Just in terms of location, I'm only a couple blocks from the bus stop, and the restaurants and all that sort of stuff is just right down the street from here. So super convenient. Great spot. Highly recommend it if you're coming to San Ignacio and you need a place to stay. I would say that this is a great option for anybody. And I've met lots of people here of all ages, couples, people traveling solo like myself. So we'll go take a look at the main area. I'll put the information on the screen here now so that you can see what the price looked like and everything else. It was cash only, so if you do come here, just keep that in mind. But they were very flexible in that I didn't have the cash on me when I arrived, so I just paid the second day when I was here. Went down to the bank machine and got the cash out, no problem. Let's go take a look at the rest of the place, and then we'll go from there. So just a quick shot of the common area here. Real nice kitchen, fully stocked. Lots of stuff here if you need coffee or whatever. Dishes, the whole bit. Nice little sitting area here at the table as well. And great Wi-Fi here. I've had no problem with that, so great spot. So that's going to do it from here in San Ignacio, Belize, my final stop in the country. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please leave a like and a comment below to let me know that you were here. I try to respond to every comment I receive, so I really appreciate the feedback. If you're new to my channel, please hit subscribe. I'm always looking for more subscribers, of course, and every one of them matters to me, so thank you in advance. If you'd like to support me further, there's a few different options for that. I have some new memberships set up with 3 different tiers below that you can join. Get some extra perks. Some higher tiers have some really cool things added to them, I think, so you can take a look at those. And there's also a PayPal link below if you'd like to make a one-time donation. And remember, life is short. Wander. I'll see you in the next video.